Hello there. So what we're going to look at today is foam roller massage, which is really important, especially if you're starting a new program, which you are, and you're starting to train harder, your muscles will tighten up. So if you can get a foam roller, it will be very beneficial for you to be able to do some gentle massage yourself during the week in order to prevent muscle tightness and injuries. So you can buy these online. I'll have a link for you anyway as well. And make sure that they're kind of medium density, not too firm, especially if you've had any back injuries. And if it does become uncomfortable when you're using the foam roller, stop straight away and don't push it. And what I'm going to show you now is basically a general routine from top to bottom, which will just relax the muscles that we're working at the moment through, especially our back and also our leg muscles. So as I said, be very gentle and let's start. So you can just follow me the first few times and then hopefully you'll be able to remember it down the track yourself. So just want you to sit on the roller and basically you're just massaging back and forward like that. So you'll do that 5 or 6 times. So you'll find that we'll be massaging each area 5 or 6 times, which is enough, because if you go too hard in one particular area and it doesn't need it, it might create an imbalance. So just be gentle. Good. Now I want you to try and bring your ankle over to your knee and then lean to the same side as the knee that you have lifted the ankle up. And then that will help to go deeper into the glute muscles, which you'll find will be probably quite tight and tender. So don't be too heavy with that. Just try and be gentle. It's very relaxing as well. Good. And now swapping over. So bring the opposite ankle to the knee and lean to the other side. Good. Let's do our back now. So bring the roller down a little bit. And we're just going to start with the lower back. Just bring the elbows onto the roller and just be gentle in this area. They don't recommend you roll it very rigorously, especially because of not protecting the ribs. Protect the upper thoracic or thoracic area, whereas the lower back doesn't have that protection. So just be careful. And now we're just going to go up a couple of inches and just be really careful the first time, because you can sort of slip off if you're not used to it. Good, and now going up. So we're just going up a couple of inches each time. Good, and now this last one, just make sure you don't go too high because you don't want to slip off and injure your neck. So this is just be very careful with this one. Good, so you're going just below the neck, and then we'll come down and you can just place the roller under your head and just gently rotate your head from side to side, and that will loosen up the muscles under the skull, the suboccipital muscles. Good. All right, now let's do our back again, because I think the back's really important, but this time I want to make sure that the roller is going to be vertical. So coming straight down, make sure your backside and your head are on the roller. That's why a long roller is really much more useful. And we're just going basically the middle of the spine and just 1 or 2 centimeters either side, just to loosen up some of those intricate muscles around the spine and the vertebra. Ain't that nice? It's so nice to stretch, so relaxing. Whew. Now we can also just do a nice stretch for our pec muscles. Just bring your arms out to the side. You should feel a nice gentle release in the front here. Good. Now just hold on to the floor a little bit for balance and just go as far as you can to the right of your back and then back to the center. And we're going to do 5 or 6 times on one side. And the same on the other. Going as far to the left and back to the center. Nice stretching, releasing around the shoulder blade muscles in particular. All right, now let's just do our legs. So what I want you to do is bring the roller so that it's horizontal now and lie on, so your hip is gently pushing just below the hip into the roller. Straighten that underneath leg, bend the top leg, and then this can be a little bit uncomfortable, but basically I don't want you to roll over your hip. I want you to go just below the hip and up and down about 10 centimeters or so, or a couple of inches, depending on what metric you're using. Good. And now just place the roll a little bit lower down. So basically you're doing the middle of your ITV. Now this can be really uncomfortable, so just be gentle and don't go too hard. And a couple of rolls is enough to start with. Now we're just going just above the knee and not over the knee joint, because that can be pretty uncomfortable. Good. All right, now let's go to the front of our legs and then we'll do the other side in a second. So place the roller. What I want you to do is actually push the front of the roller into the hip on the left. And we're basically going up and down. The other knee is bent and we're pushing the hip bone into the roller. Excuse the phone. I'm actually at work today, which I'm not normally on a weekend, on a Sunday. Good. Now let's go let's do the other side. So we're going straight into the front of the hip. So basically what you're doing is this leg is bent, this leg is straight, and you're pushing to the front of the hip flexor. That will get really tight, especially if you sit at work a lot at a desk and your knees are always bent. This is a really good stretch. So we've done 5 or 6 on both. Now I want you to bring both hips straight into the roller, push the roller down a little bit, and we're just going to the top of the thigh muscles, which we would have been working quite a lot. Good, and now we're just going to go just above the knee to the lower part of the thigh muscles. Good. Now let's do the other ITB. So onto the side, pushing the hip into the roller, straightening the underneath leg, bending the top leg, and we're rolling down into the ITB and the side of the hip muscles, just below the hip. Good, now bring the roller down a little bit so it's the middle of the leg. And now just above the knee. Good. Now let's do our hamstrings. So placing the legs onto the roller and just pushing up and down, so our body weight is basically going into our hamstrings, which are the back of the leg. Good, excellent. And now our calves, which can be a little bit harder to do, but you can just lift up and put a little bit of extra body weight into the calf muscle and then rolling up and down. Good work. Okay, so that was a nice thorough roll of the whole body. Have a go at that. Hopefully you've been copying me, and you can do that, as I said, a couple of times a week. At least once a week, I definitely recommend it. So good luck. I'll see you next time.